What is up, guys? So today we're going to be taking a look at the Pixel 6 Pro. So this is going to be part one. So since it's so much with this phone, so I'm going to do a part two, and you guys are going to put your comment down below on what you want to see in the part two video. So it could literally be anything you want to know or just anything you want to see. Like, Matt, does this run Genshin Impact or whatever? Any comment, anything you guys want to see. That's how we're gonna do it in a two-part, because it's only been 4 days, so I still want to give it like at least a week of really like having the phone, and really I like to go 2 weeks. So we're just gonna do continuous videos. So I'll go ahead and do like my really first impressions. It still feels like a very new phone to me. So this phone is a flagship phone. It's gonna cost you $900, and the build quality so far, 4 days later, oh man, it is still really nice. Everyone who sees this phone, it's just got a unique design. So like when you take this phone out, everyone's gonna know that you have a Pixel phone. I think Google did such a great job. One of the things I noticed with this camera bump is that it gets really dirty, really dusty, so you're constantly having to wipe it off. Which is not a big deal, but that is definitely one thing I noticed. So full premium design here, glass back, aluminum frame on here. It is full IP68 dust and water resistant as well. So the screen on the Pixel 6 Pro has been really beautiful. I've been taking it outdoors and it's extremely bright as well too. It's an LTPO AMOLED display, 120 Hz HDR10. You can see it has a slight curve to it as well, and it's not a bad curve. I haven't had any problems with accidental touches or anything like that. Colors look absolutely beautiful on here. You can see you have the punch hole in the middle, and it's a dynamic AMOLED display, so that means that when you're not using it, it does go to 10 Hertz, and then once you start scrolling it picks up to 120 Hertz. The display has been absolutely beautiful on here, extremely smooth. Just zero problems. And guys, what's really selling me on this phone is that it has Android 12. Android 12 is the biggest thing, because you guys know I love Oxygen OS, but man, Android 12, just stock Android 12, has been buttery smooth. Like, it is absolutely ridiculous how smooth and how everything is just really animated. We can do a separate video really on Android 12 itself, because I think that's what's really making this phone an awesome experience. So the Pixel 6 Pro does have a full 1440p display, 512 for the PPI. So like I was saying, everything is sharp, and you also can enjoy your content in 1440p, which is really nice. So I've really been enjoying just watching videos and stuff on here. It's overall just an excellent display. Alright guys, so far gaming has been really awesome, and I'm going to drop the gaming test on the same day, hopefully. But again, Android 12 Google Tensor chip with the Mali G78 GPU. We also have 128 gigs of internal storage, 12 gigs of RAM, and no SD card support here. So I've been gaming on this phone, and I haven't had an issue with heat. I haven't had really an issue at all doing anything. It's been a perfectly smooth experience gaming, and it's been really enjoyable, guys. So check out the full gaming test on this, because it is definitely really nice to game on this guy. Now, what is really awesome is that I want to get my hands on the Pixel 6, because that might be the phone of the year considering the price, and if the cameras are as good and everything is as good as this phone, man, that might be the phone of the year. That might be the better buy than this one, actually. So I do want to show you guys the Geekbench scores as well, so you can go ahead and see those, that Google Tensor chip. And I went ahead and ran this when I got the last update, so there's no more updates on this phone. So as you can see, 1021, it beats out an Exynos S21 Ultra in the Geekbench, but does not in the the multi-core. It's sort of on par here. It's same with a Galaxy Note 20 Ultra, so that would be sort of equivalent to like a, what is that, 865 chip. But the Exynos, processor, you guys know how I feel about that. But yeah, so as far as speed, everything is super smooth. RAM management is going to be phenomenal on here. It really rarely, I don't notice it closing applications out like that. So everything is just extremely fast, extremely smooth with this guy. So I just have zero issues here. And you really don't see any lag on this phone. That's why I'm just so impressed. Like, usually you'll see a few animation stutters with other skins and stuff like that. But this this Pixel skin is really, really smooth, and everything is really well organized and clean. So I keep talking about the software because I'm telling you, once you guys get your hands on this phone and you feel how smooth it is with the just the premium feel and everything, it really all meshes together really well. Let's go ahead and check out the speakers. Now, there is no Dolby Atmos on here, so I know someone's gonna ask. So yeah, I don't see any Dolby Atmos on here, so it's just gonna be playing from, you know, just the speakers. There's no special software. Now the speakers on here are actually phenomenal. So what's going on here, this has some of the best bass that I've heard. So with the 808s, I can actually hear the low end of the 808s on this phone. I've never been able to hear that on any other phone as clear as this phone. So bass quality is really awesome on this phone. It's overall just a very loud speaker. It might not be the loudest phone I've ever tested. I still think the Rogue phone or the ROG phone, I think that has the best speaker since it was front facing, but I still didn't notice the bass quality. Like the lows on this phone with the bass is crazy. But as far as speaker quality, it's excellent. I can't wait to compare it to some other smartphones because man, the bass is crazy. Yeah, it's just absolutely nuts. So excellent speaker on here. Now let's talk about the additional features. So like we said, we have IP68 dust and water resistant on here. We do have NFC on here as well. Again, no headphone jack. And we also have on here wireless charging and reverse wireless charging. You would turn that on with battery share, but my battery is too low right now. So basically, we do have a in-display fingerprint sensor with no unlock, so no face unlock. So I was kind of curious on why they left that out. I guess it's because it's not as safe, but again, Samsung still does it. So I think that, you know, I feel like you should still offer people, you know, two options. But the fingerprint scanner is fine. I haven't had an issue with it, like any real complaint, you know, with the fingerprint sensor. Is it the fastest that I've ever tried? No, I still think OnePlus still has the most like fastest and accurate fingerprint sensor, but this one works. You just have to kind of do it slower. It's not one of those where I can just like be super fast. Like I really have to like boom, like accurately know where I'm putting my finger at. Cause sort of with the OnePlus, it's sort of like I can just like boom. But this one you have to kind of do it a little bit slower. So that is one thing I noticed. So not the best in-display fingerprint sensor. But definitely there is not really any issue with it that I would really complain about. Alright, so let's talk about the cameras. So we do have a 50 megapixel lens, a 48 megapixel telephoto, a 12 megapixel ultra wide with 4K video at 30 or 60 FPS, and then a 11.1 megapixel ultra wide front facing camera, and that is 4K 30 FPS. And before I show you guys these stills, this phone has phenomenal photos. I personally like the stills better than the iPhone 13 and 13 Pro. I'm just going to say that flat out. I personally really do like the stills and the detail this camera catches. But what I've been playing around with, and you guys probably going to think this is funny, is the actual editor, the Magic Eraser thing. I have to show you guys this. You guys probably seen it before. This thing is hilarious. So you go to editing, and you guys know I'm not the big, you know, photo person. I'm not somebody that's really big on cameras like that. Like I just need my camera to take a good photo and be able to post it online, like, you know, majority of people. I'm not super camera nerd, but this right here, this Magic Eraser thing is just crazy. So watch this. And I know you can probably do this. You can do this stuff in like Adobe or stuff, but for it to be built into the software like this, so basically you can erase people or things out of your photo, which is hilarious. So watch that. It takes a little bit, but I'm not gonna edit anything. So look at that, boom, like, and then it just erases it. So is it perfect? No. I think like it depends. It does better on people because yeah, it fills it in. It does a decent job filling it in right there. But that's pretty cool to me. Like I've been playing around with that, just erasing stuff like let's try this right here. Let's see how it does with that. So this is just a really fun thing. I don't know how many people would actually use this. But look at that. It's like erased it. I've been playing around with that, but let's talk about the photos here. So image quality on the Pixel 6 Pro is what you would expect, and I'm really standing by it as, to me, one of the best smartphone cameras that I have tested. As far as stills, I really was not impressed with the video as much, which I'll show you. I still think the iPhone takes still the best video, but as far as stills, this thing is absolutely phenomenal. The nighttime photos are absolutely phenomenal, guys. It does such a great job with the nighttime photos. The selfie got my skin tone perfectly right. So Google did introduce that. They did say that in their conference that they were really working on getting minority skin tones right, and man, it does such a much better job than the iPhone. Like, usually with the iPhone I have to edit to get my right skin tone, but if you are a person of color, whether you're dark skin or whatever, it is going to do still a great job on giving you a very nice shot here. So I was just really impressed with that. So I will do a separate video showing you guys like more nighttime shots, because I want to actually go somewhere where I can take some cooler shots. But yeah, so photos are phenomenal. Detail is there. Skin tones are there. This 50 megapixel camera is no joke. You get a ton of detail. Dynamic range is just awesome on this phone as well. So I just have nothing but good things to say about this Pixel 6 Pro. It's my favorite camera. It is now, officially my go-to camera, mainly because of the detail, but also because it gets the skin tones right when you're taking pictures of people. Alright guys, here's the video on the Pixel 6 Pro here. Let's do a kind of a walk around. And I have my 0.7. And I can do 2x, 4x. Okay. And I guess we'll just see how the stabilization is. We'll just do a quick walk. Alright guys, here's what the indoor video looks like on the Pixel 6 Pro. Sure, let me know what you guys think here. And I can also punch it to the ultra wide. Two X. And I can even go 4X here. Alright, so let's go ahead and talk about battery life. So we're working with a 5003 milliamp battery with 30-watt charging on here. So it charges pretty fast as well. So as far as the battery life experience, you're averaging around 7.5 to 8 hours of screen on time. Which is perfectly fine. So there was never a moment where I was like, I need to charge this phone. The battery life is phenomenal on the Pixel 6 Pro. It's a big battery, and yeah, it makes the phone kind of, a little heavy. But as far as battery life, this is not a phone where you're going to be like, oh, I'm worried about the battery life. It's literally a day and a half phone. So I would not worry about battery life at all on this phone. It does an excellent job. Again, 7.5 to 8 hours of screen on time is pretty good. So that is pretty much it for part one of this video. Be sure to let me know what you guys want to see next, and I will catch you guys in the next one.